Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Axe Ministry, Axe Media Group, and/or their affiliate and subordinate ministries and/or nonprofits. Well, that's a lot to say.
Yes, it is.
Turn this up a little bit.
I want to turn my phone down. Now I won't get in trouble.
He's talking to himself. Good morning! Coming to you live from Axe Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay and Steve. We got the M&M girls on with us today. The prettiest show yet.
Just go ahead and wave.
I guess I could have flipped the little thing around so you could like see us up there, but all right. This is a song called Nails. I'm kind of proud of it. We had a lot of fun in the studio that day. It was donated studio time, so. Hey, if you own the song, you don't have to worry about getting permission to use it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Catchy, huh?
All right.
Lead singer.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
And you are?
I'm Emily.
And I'm Emma.
All right. So, a very pleasant surprise today. They showed up here.
Yes.
Because, me and Peggy Lee and myself were texting back and forth about when you guys, she said, when would you like them to come on? I said, any day, Monday through Friday, doesn't matter. And that's the last we talked about it. And poof, they show up today.
Well, we're here.
It's beautiful. We went to your show the other day, so you are Emily and you are Emma.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I keep getting you guys
No,
mixed up.
I've got it now. I almost switched it, but I got it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I switch it on accident, just smile
it's
and
fine.
nod.
Yeah, it's totally fine. We get it all the time.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. I
Yeah.
don't
Good.
have Emily and Emma, I've got it for a minute.
So I do need to turn your microphone up because
Is it, okay, is it too low?
it is too low. But anyways, welcome to the party, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We're glad to be here.
Let's see how much awkward silence we can have
And
today.
were your
That'll be fun.
headphones too loud?
No, they're perfect.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
See,
See?
we'll
They're
see.
perfect.
That's good.
They were
How about
perfect.
yours? Is yours
Yes.
awesome?
As long as I'm not loud. I'm
He's
not
doing
loud,
his
am I?
job. I
Do I
should have
sound
let
all
you do
right?
that
No, you
earlier,
sound
Matt.
good.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, that's all right.
So, you ladies do dance and a dance show, and do you perform live?
Yes,
Yes.
we do.
Yeah, and where?
Well, it depends on like the competition. We go to a lot of competitions to compete routines. So that's anywhere from like Kansas City to here in Branson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, okay. So where I met them, which we didn't actually. I don't think we really officially met. I think we did near the end. But
You did.
Yeah.
you
everybody was
It was big.
swarms
Yeah.
around you guys, and it's all.
Oh yeah.
Where'd
Yeah.
you meet?
Uh,
Where'd you meet?
But you guys
the
also have
the
fun.
Hot Hits Theater in Branson.
Hot
It's right
Hits
down
Theater.
on the little. It's at the historic
Main-
square, right?
Right. It's main
Yes.
main
And
drag.
it was a store at one time, and they've turned it into this quaint little theater. Like the Platters play there,
Yeah.
and the guy Steve.
Yes, the platters, the real ones.
Steve Norvell.
Yes.
Norvell. Steve. What is his name? The guy with the Platters.
Oh, Eddie Stovall.
Eddie Stovall. I had
Yes.
Steve Norvell. I had the right syllabage there.
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
word? Did I just make
Yeah.
that up?
I
Syllabage.
like it.
Eddie's
If
a great
it's not
guy.
one, it's better
But,
than most of
Yes,
the words
he
I've
is for
heard.
sure.
Yeah, but see, I didn't know that you two were going to be there. We had gotten reserved seats from Peggy Lee and Jeff, which was kind of cool. I felt like
Front row.
Yeah, front row.
Oh yeah, right in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it had my name on the chairs reserved for Matt Pearson, and I go to sit down, and then the people on this side of us is like, oh, sorry. Jim."
It was the quiz.
Got a cushion.
Quiz.
I'm okay.
It was the
The quiz people. That's why we put these soft things on there.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
First aid.
They're like,
for-
we're not supposed to sit where the white paper is. And I said, well, I'm Matt Pearson, so. Don't you know who I am?
It was like, no, this is reserved for Matt Pearson. And I'm Matt Pearson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was a great show. I knew that there'd be 2 extra people there, though, because there were 4 mic stands.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
and you
Yeah.
guys didn't even come out at first. You come out like halfway through the first number, right?
And do you perform there?
Well,
at
there's
the-
an there's
Yeah.
an opening like song, so
Yeah.
like while people like are sitting and talking, that's like the song that plays, and then our first song starts, and that's when we all run out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is awesome. If you haven't checked it out, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, they all start at 5
Yes.
5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Yep.
Could you imagine having to do that at 5 a.m.?
Wow.
I think it's. Peggy told me it was an 80-minute show, so you guys are done really by 6:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
usually.
6:30, 7.
It depends on how
The-
much
yeah.
Jeff likes to talk to people, and then
You figured that out.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yes.
And then the comedian guy that does the tricks up there. That
Oh,
guy's
he's
pretty
great.
good.
Blake Walker.
Yeah,
Blake
I
Walker.
actually, he may have thought I was kidding whenever because he wadded up that paper that said no on it and threw it at me. And I said, you're gonna autograph this. He says after the show, and of course, as soon as the show was over with, I made sure I walked up and I unrolled it, and I'm like, here you go. So I had him autograph it.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, Blake's a great guy.
Oh,
I've
he's
known him
so
for
good.
years, and
Yeah,
he's a funny guy. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's amazing.
we love having him in the show.
and
He's so
the
great.
magic tricks that he
I
Yeah, they're pretty
do
good.
not understand.
he had
How he
bubbles.
does
I
it.
was surprised he didn't do the bubbles.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
she was one of his like test dummies.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I
like,
know how he does one of them.
Oh.
But the one that's hard to figure out, with the multicolored cards.
Oh.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure
I
about that.
still can't figure
Yeah,
that
we've
one out.
been
it's-
like
I can't either.
backstage, like poking our heads out, and we're
always
like,
look-
"How the heck is he doing it?"
Yeah.
I'll just have to. I mean, I won't tell you because that would be wrong of me to spoil the
Yeah.
joke,
Aw.
or to spoil the trick. But I will say that does take quite
Doing
a bit
good,
of
Stacy.
practice and quite a
Yeah.
bit of skill,
Oh,
Yeah.
and also not a little amount of luck.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
it is a
crazy.
pretty cool trick.
Oh yeah, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
I still don't know how he does
And
it.
Yeah.
some of the tricks that a lot of magicians in town do their own thing, but he's really personable, and it's an up close and personal magic show. To
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
And Emily, you've been the test dummy. Does that mean you've been the assistant? The
Um,
lovely assistant, you know how they are?
No, I
Where they
was
saw you in half?
during rehearsals. I was actually just sitting in the audience watching his rehearsal because I
Yeah.
wanted to see what tricks he was doing, and he just used me as like the example, like what he was like practice for the show.
Yeah.
And so I got to like do the tricks with him, like he did with like he does with the audience, and
we felt so dumb because we were like, "How?"
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so mind blowing.
That's
Practice,
what it's
practice,
called,
practice.
illusion.
It does
Yeah.
take a lot of practice.
It does.
What's it like growing up in Branson?
Good morning, Marcia. Good
Oh,
morning,
I
Larry.
love growing up in Branson. I was
Morning,
born
Dr.
in
Paul.
Branson, and I've been living there since. And
Peggy Lee Brennan is watching. Hey,
Hey,
good to see you,
Peggy's
Peggy
watching.
Lee. See you in a little bit.
Hi, Peg.
oh, I love Peg.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was born
Yeah.
in Springfield, and then I was adopted there, and then we moved to Branson.
At what age were you adopted?
About I think 10 days.
Oh, 10 days.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so very,
Wow.
very
So that's the only parents you knew was your
Yeah.
adopted parents. So they're your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've lived in Branson your whole life.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Ah.
love it.
Is it mostly the theater and the and everything that you grew up around, or what's the public life like? You know, the regular.
Well, my mom managed in a box office at a theater, so I've grown up around like the Branson show business my whole life. I've been a part of Pierce Arrow. That's where she worked. And
Yes.
yeah, so
Great
I grew up
guys.
in that theater, and then I don't know. I guess that's what got me into singing and dancing and all that stuff. Just listening, going to the shows, sitting in the back, listening to the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew every song when I was little. It was so much fun, but
Yeah.
All right. I got to put
And
a banner
how
up so
about you?
people know who you
Oh,
are.
well, my dad is the band director at Hollister High School, so I grew up around a lot of classical music and like 90s, 80s, all that. So I'm more of like in the countryside of Branson.
So when you say classical music, I think Beethoven, Bach, and all that
Yes.
stuff. Oh, so that's.
So
what
what's
you
your
mean.
favorite?
I thought you meant classical 80s, 90s.
Oh no,
So-
no.
So what's your
Sorry.
favorite
That is
orchestra
classic.
instrument?
Orchestra instrument? Probably the violin.
Okay, mine is the French horn.
Oh,
I don't
that's
play.
a good one.
I can't play any of them, but I love
Yeah.
the sound
Mine's
of
the
it.
snare drum.
Yeah, we have
I
like
love
2
percussion.
French horns, but one graduated this year, so we'll have one in our concert band.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to go out and get a new French horn so the other person can play it, right? That was weird. I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm making you guys a banner to put up so they know who you guys are for people who are just joining
put
us.
So
the
you're in
M&M
the
girls.
show.
No.
I'm sorry.
You're
what?
in the show up there with your mother's and father's show. Do you guys actually perform in the show?
Oh, in the band show.
Oh, okay. So they actually perform, and Peggy Lee and Jeff are not their parents,
Oh,
but they
sorry. I thought
No,
They-
it's okay. It's
your parents were there though, because I met them as
Yes.
well. But yes, they are in that show, the tap
Oh,
dancing.
okay. So
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
funny because they
But we
don't
can
even-
hear you guys singing too. So if you think
Actually,
if you
you
think
don't
you
think
can't be
we
heard,
can, but we can.
definitely can be
Uh-oh.
heard.
Oh.
Definitely
So
can
see,
be
you
heard.
can sing.
So you
Yes,
are
you
Branson
can sing.
performers.
Yeah.
See, when I asked earlier, and you talked about traveling with the school or traveling with the choir and stuff, I didn't. You left that out as though that's kind of a. It's funny just to me because that means you're kind of so you're stars in a show
Yeah.
in
I would
Branson.
I would
wouldn't
think
say stars because that's
Co-
Peggy and
co-stars.
Jeff.
Yeah, that's
Right.
Peggy and Jeff.
Yeah.
you're the lead. You're the supporting actor or the
Yes.
supporting
Yeah.
roles.
Yes.
What a
Yeah.
great role to play at such a young age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
it's a lot
Yeah.
of
I
hard work
love
too,
it.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's that
Yeah,
like?
we had a lot of rehearsals. So some rehearsals would be at the theater for like sound checks. We would do like dress rehearsals with costumes and stuff, and other rehearsals we just go to Peg's house and just work on
Very
our
very
songs.
sparkly costumes. By
Oh,
the
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Every costume has sequins.
It's got a bling.
for sure.
Every Branson show has a bling bling
Yeah.
of some
Yes.
sort. Whether the guys are wearing the jackets
Mhm.
or whether the women were wearing. So that's just the way Branson is. It's
Oh, yeah.
just full of bling bling.
Yeah, half
Yeah.
of our costumes are like old dance competition costumes that we've used.
Oh, I was just going to ask you about that.
For those of you who don't know, Jim was asking. This is Emily
Yes.
and Emma,
See?
and they are co-stars. I would call you co-stars of Peggy
Yeah.
Lee and Jeff's show in
Yes.
Branson, called
From Broadway to Hollywood to Branson.
Broadway to Hollywood to Branson.
How
That's a nice
great.
title. No, long title, but hey, it's great.
And that
It's-
tells
it
a
is good.
story, or is it entertainment?
Yeah, they.
It's just entertainment.
Yeah, and it's all set in
Um,
40s style, like
Yeah.
40s style
Old
music.
Broadway.
Yeah.
Most of it was written by Peggy Lee's mom
Jeff's
or
mom.
Is
mother-in-law.
it the
Yeah.
golden
Yeah.
era of Broadway?
Oh yeah, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they do the and it's a small stage, so
Mhm.
sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
have you guys ran into each other a couple times?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
tripped
I
and fell?
actually hit the ceiling once with my tambourine.
Yeah.
I whacked
Yeah.
the ceiling and broke the.
Did
Yeah.
you the tile? Did you
Yeah.
break the
It's
tile?
very easy to run into each other on that stage.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, in the very beginning number or the second number, getting to know you, we walk.
Getting to know you.
Yeah, we walk
Yeah.
behind Peg and Jeff, and they're usually far back, so we have to like crunch
Oh
behind
no, we
them.
always like
seen-
squeeze past.
Yeah.
You broke a heel the other day when I was
That
there.
was me.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
was you that,
That
broke
was
the heel?
me.
She
Yeah.
broke a heel.
I
We-
thought for sure you were going to run into each other
Yeah.
that first.
Yeah.
first
Yeah, Jeff was coming on, and I was going off, and like we were like footballing, kind of like we were like,
Yeah.
which way do you want to go? And then when I got off stage, my heel snapped in half. So
Oh,
it's
no.
fixed now. We got it.
Well, that's
easy
good.
fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say.
Do you
My
get
brain
to
just
mingle with
kinda-
your guests, the people that come to see the show, and is it
Yeah, we actually weren't supposed to because of the whole COVID.
right?
But we just decided to go out there anyways because we get small crowds. It's not
Yeah.
very big crowds like
So
we
you're
see.
fairly new to this.
EMILY.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
What a-
they're
a
not
great-
really big on everybody wearing masks and things like that.
No, the people who come don't typically wear masks.
My mom loves wearing a mask because she's a doctor. So she like everywhere she goes, she wears a mask, and she's like, you always have to wear a mask. So yeah.
She's very
From-
strict about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. She's just
But-
protecting your daughter.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Broadway to Hollywood to Branson.
Yes.
Yes.
I asked Peggy. I forgot what she said. I said, "Where'd the Branson part come in? Maybe it's a magician. Maybe it's Blake."
I think it's the Bill Bailey, the country
Yeah,
part.
she.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's right. The country.
The country
That's why when
song,
she
Patsy
says we're
Cline.
gonna go country, and I'm like, okay, this is where Branson comes
Yeah.
in.
This is for Branson. I definitely wish we had more country songs in the show.
Yeah.
I love country music, and I
Yeah.
just feel like it's a part of Branson.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
definitely Branson culture.
I
it
think.
is. You're right.
Well, I mean, and then you guys do some modern day style dancing at the very end of the show.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we do some
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yes.
I love the very end too.
Oh,
We're so
thank you.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That surprised me actually. All of a sudden I'm like, all of a sudden you guys come out in the bright,
Yeah.
tie dye. I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, that's like one of our quickest changes. Like we're trying to we're back
Oh,
there. We're
yeah.
like figuring what to do. We're like which
Definitely
shoe
some
is
Branson
which.
merch. It's Branson merch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we
Tie-dye
got that-
shirts that
make
say
sure to get
Branson
that
on 'em.
Branson.
Yeah, we got it at Walmart in the
Yeah,
tourist
we-
I
aisle.
was gonna say, I bet you got that from Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the tourist.
By the way,
shirts.
somebody asked me about this, and they said costume changes. As far as do you guys actually change, or do you put costumes over yourselves enough to?
We have a nude leotard we wear. So it's just like a very quick change. We just change out of the first costume, go to the next one, and then keep changing. We usually like to hang things up on top, but sometimes we're so
So you're exercising a
Peggy
lot of
Leach.
exercising.
Yeah.
yeah.
She changes behind a screen right up on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At first she didn't do that, and then her mom or someone said you need to use them like Marilyn Monroe did.
Yeah, Judy
So-
Garland.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
She
that's
has-
where that came
She
from.
has she has the same one that Julie Garland did in a movie, and Judy Garland changed behind it
Yeah.
during the movie, so she was like, might as well.
Yeah.
You
Why
know,
not?
it works. I think
It
I
does
think it
work,
adds
yeah.
to I think it adds to the charm of the show.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure.
But
Hello,
sometimes we
Mike
have to
Miller.
go back and then get her tap shoes and
Michael
go
Miller.
off stage.
Yeah.
Nathan Sperling, welcome.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi, Dad.
Oh, hi,
Hey,
Dad.
Papa.
Let's
Or
all.
you say it like one. Hey, Dee Dee.
Hey,
So is this
Daddy,
a
oh.
hobby for the two of you, or a profession, or do you both want to go into
Yeah.
this as a profession?
Oh yeah,
Performing.
my goal is Broadway in New York.
all right.
That's definitely what I want to do. So I'm training as hard as I can to get that far. Maybe do some Disney stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking
Oh,
at this.
Disney.
Oh
I'm-
yeah.
Nathan
Be
says,
my guest. Be my guest.
And you
"Hi,
two?
baby. I'm so proud of you."
Oh,
And,
see,
Thanks,
and
Dad.
Emma,
that was so nice of you.
Did you just put makeup on your little red face there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Little blushy?
You know what? Remember, your mom and dad are watching.
I know. Yeah.
Does that make things awkward? You know, your family, your dad's watching. Does that weird?
Not really.
No.
No.
If anything, it might give you courage, right? You know, because
Kind of. Sometimes it gets really awkward at times.
Does it?
So it's like,
He's being dad.
Yeah.
Watching out for his little girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got it underneath Emma and Emily from Broadway to Hollywood to Branson.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
and Broadway to Hollywood to Branson is the name of the show or the theater?
It's
the
the name
show.
of the show.
Hot
And the
Hits Theater.
is
Hot Hits Theater, downtown Branson.
downtown
HOT
Branson. Do you know the address?
space
I
It's
don't
a
know
TO.
the address.
206 commercial.
206 commercial.
206
Was
commercial.
was commercial because I used to work at the Owens Theater across the street.
Yes.
Yeah.
with
I've
Diana-
seen seen a lot of Brack shows there.
For those of
Yeah.
you who don't know, there's a lot of theaters in Branson.
Oh.
Well, that
We
was
have
the
a
first theater.
sponsor from your local area. Do you know?
Hey,
Steamy
it's
Joe?
our pleasure, Nathan.
Cafe?
Believe me, it was you see the title of the show is the prettiest show yet, because you know we're always a bunch of guys up here. And
Doing guy talk.
when we
Awesome.
have
Pretty.
when we have ladies on the show, the algorithm of Facebook lets more people see it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There's more variety and diversity.
Yeah.
So and you know again,
Maybe our
we're just a
ratings
bunch
went
of
up
guys.
today.
Two
sure they
two
would.
beautiful young ladies that perform in Branson on here. It's really awesome.
Yeah, so our local audience can go up to Branson and see you there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell them
Have
the
you
morning
ever
drive
eaten
sent
at
you.
Steamy Joe? That's our sponsor.
Steamy Joe.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was a good
And
segue.
And
Well-
they're right there near you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
They
right
are
down
official
on
now.
Are they official now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
the contract.
Yay! So we can say it. The Steamy Joe, 204 South
Two-
Main,
No,
West
it's
Main,
220.
220. Okay, I got it.
220 South
The
Main.
sheets over there.
Yeah.
And I've had their cinnamon rolls
And
their
their
brownies.
have you had their brownies yet?
I have had them, and they
the
are
gourmet.
amazing.
There's
Yes.
brownies, and then there's the gourmet
I
brownies.
had 3
you
cinnamon
guys,
rolls for breakfast.
you guys would
one
love
morning.
that over there. They've got all.
Yeah,
the-
I've
Wait, what
wanted
is
to
it
go.
It's called
Steamy
Steamy
Joe
Joe's.
Cafe. That is 224 West Main Street in
224.
Branson,
Yeah.
Missouri. 417-320-3046. They're open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and they've got so much good stuff.
Oh, I haven't tried those
Breakfast,
sandwiches
lunch,
yet.
no dinner, just breakfast. But you
Yeah.
can have breakfast up until 10:30 a.m. Sometimes 11, depending on if they've got things left over. They'll extend it to about 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got our sign floating right up above your head. You know, I should have moved it down just so you're like the guy that's behind.
Just
you know.
like right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the mystery guest.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
We
Yeah.
should do a "What's my line" type thing. That would be fun.
That would be.
Ooh.
I see. Is that anything like Whose Line Is It Anyways?
No.
Love that show. Have you seen
Oh,
that?
yes,
Who-
I love that show.
Drew Carey did a very good job, but now they got somebody else doing it. They
Yeah.
brought back some of the characters that were on.
Oh yeah, they make Whose Line Is It Anyway? They're the ones that make it. Like,
Oh yeah,
what's that?
they're from Canada. One of them's Canadian.
The tall guys, and they were all
Oh.
on Drew Carey's show with him.
Oh
so-
yeah.
but yeah, they're hilarious.
Do
I
y'all
think
ever think of getting on television?
Yeah.
I'm planning on going to the Disney University they have in Florida,
Oh yeah.
and then like just learning everything they have there, and then performing for like Finding Nemo and like all those like
Oh,
cool
yes.
shows like
yeah.
Lion
At Disney
King.
World?
Great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Lion
And
King.
your ultimate goal is to go to Broadway too.
Yes.
But you're going to take different paths, or
I think so. I think she wants to be more like Disney.
Enter like very very
Yeah,
cheesy.
I want to be
I
more
don't know.
like
Cheesy?
Broadway, like New
cheesy,
York.
I guess.
the plays, the
I
whole
don't-
Yeah,
telling
the-
stories, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Do you know how to
Broadway
ice skate?
musicals.
You do like Nemo on ice or something like that?
Well, I
Have one
remember.
skate bigger than the other.
I remember one time we went to St. Louis with my family, or it was Springfield, I don't remember. But we went ice skating one time, and I was really good at it, and I was really young. But then I went on a cruise, I think a year or two ago, and then they had an ice skating rink. And so I tried, and I completely failed. And so I was holding on to the side, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
it was awful.
Scary.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, as you get older, your body grows, and then your ankles. You know, you have to have really really strong ankles to ice
Yes.
skate.
Yeah.
Now I used to rollerblade, not that I can handle this, and I wasn't too bad at it, but after like, it seems like 30 seconds, the arches of my feet were aching so bad because just this little bitty blade, as opposed to wheels or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I like to think that I was good at it, but then
I was really good at it, but I had double blades.
Yeah, I had like the
you had double blades.
I had double bladed
they
when
have
I was
double
a
and
kid.
triple.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is that like
They have
training
triple
wheels?
blades too.
Do they?
Yeah. We
I
had-
didn't know about triple
when we were
blades.
little kids. We
Well,
had
they
some
made 3 movies.
Triple Blades. It was a great movie.
Nobody got that. Somebody, did you get that, son? Blade, the movies, Blade.
Yeah,
How
Blade
about
Runner.
school? What's
guys-
school like?
am
for
I
you?
that
Are
old?
you
I'm that
homeschooled?
old,
You
aren't
going
I?
to public school?
No,
Right.
we
Like-
go to public school.
Yeah.
We both go to Hollister.
yeah.
And I'm going to
I
be a
lived there for a
senior,
little
and
while.
she's going to be a freshman next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, when you
cool.
said you were 14, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan,
She's a
we're going to
baby.
send them home. We need to get a release form signed for your daughter here. So
And then you can always fax it in. Didn't you say they could?
they can
fax?
email it, like
Email
copy
it.
and email it to me. I think I gave business cards out to everybody up there, but I'll send you guys home with some.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's
Yeah.
most interesting for you about school, besides like gym or acting or band? Do you have a subject that you?
I haven't
Well, I
done
was
most
gym
going
in
to
3
say
years.
theater, but probably I honestly really like math.
Math? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Numbers just come easy to me.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Well, I
you
wish
like
I
math.
could say that.
You'll have a lot of uses for them later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
luck-
gym.
I'm lucky to be able to count the 10 fingers I have on my hands. There's
Yeah.
10, right?
I remember when I was in math class last year, like we did like division problems, and I was like trying to figure it out. I'm like,
There is
Division's
nothing
hard.
wrong. There's nothing wrong with counting on your fingers.
Division's hard because you start with an estimate.
Yeah.
My advice that I gave to my kids and to everybody who's struggling with it is to just make the first estimate. No, don't worry about being close. Make the first one, because then the math gets you.
Dr.
closer
Paul
and
Collins,
you can
welcome to
work
the
it out.
party. You see, it is the prettiest show yet.
See, we knew we could do it, and we did it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, y'all are welcome on here anytime you want.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
yay!
So,
So
Waking up at 5:30 every morning.
do you do that anyways?
No,
I
No.
do.
she does.
What time do you usually wake up in the morning?
It's not
Are you asleep
morning.
till
Oh,
till
it's not
noon
morning.
kind of gal?
Yeah.
Unless you have
Well,
stuff to do.
since quarantine's happened, I've like started waking up at like
Now-
noon or like 5 in the afternoon.
Are either
It's
one
so
of you
bad.
grumpy morning people?
Oh, yeah.
I figured you might
until
be
you
'cause
have your
said,
coffee, right?
You said
Yeah,
you're the
till I have
coffee
my
person.
coffee. I am a coffee person.
Okay. But what about you? Are you grumpy in the morning?
Yes.
No.
Cheers.
I think Nathan could probably answer that for
Yeah,
us too.
well, one time I was over with my friend. I stayed the night, and then we woke up. Well, we stayed up to like 2, and then we woke up at like 8, 9 in the morning,
Oh wow.
and we had a show that day, and so my dad picked me up, and I was so grumpy, and
Oh,
he got
no.
I was mad at everyone.
Were ya?
Yeah. I didn't get coffee that day, so.
Well, that's why.
Oh,
that was a good look.
That was it's
That
your
was a
fault.
hint. It was
It's
a
your
hint.
fault, Dee. Sorry, my dad hates it when I call him that. Like, hey, Dee.
Yeah, your dad loves it.
I used to call him Pops. He's like, don't call me that. I'm Dad. Okay, all right.
I call him Dad.
I do call him Papa sometimes.
I call him father a lot.
Father.
Father, especially when you're trying to get something, or
No.
No, then it's Dee.
I've grown up with Star Wars and like just.
oh,
Yeah.
I am not your
I love-
father.
Yeah, that's like where I get it from. Just like father.
Yeah, I love the Enterprise in that movie. You know,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
when someone says they like one or the other, I always go with the opposite just to see if it bothers them. Like someone says they like Star Wars, I'm like, yeah, oh man, I love Spock's my favorite.
So you said Disney. Do you do impressions like,
Don't you do it, Jen.
Oh no,
like
here it
Fiona
comes.
from?
All right, you're going the
what's
right way for a smack bottom.
that?
I'm a
Shrek
donkey,
over
was
here.
born outdoors. Do
I
like
was
it
just
outside.
curious. They're in,
I'll tell you
know,
what,
they're in
Shrek-
theater. And I thought maybe
My
they
favorite-
like impressions.
My favorite line in all those movies was, he's like, it was Donkey when he said, "Oh, that is nice. What is that? Thought would be my home. Oh, and I love what you've done with just such a modest budget." And then he stops. He says, "I like
told
that
ya."
boulder. That is a nice boulder." That's my favorite. My
I
favorite
love
one.
Shrek.
Yeah,
I'll
he's-
tell you
It's
what.
so funny.
I've only seen the musical, so I haven't seen any of the movies.
Oh, they're great.
Oh.
The
They
movies are
awesome.
great.
The movies are way better than the musical.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna
way
say that
better.
even
I
as a
say we
theater
do them right
person-
here, right now. Give them the Bob Barker treatment. I'm
You're
a stale
right.
master.
Yeah.
The movies are so much better
Yeah.
than the musical.
I
I know.
think
Even
I-
as a theater person, I'm still kind of
Depends
leaning
on
towards
the
the
show.
movie.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
If
for
it's a
sure.
movie made into a musical, it's just like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
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 Well,
Very true.
it's that's one of my favorite movies, and I don't know.
My wife loves Broadway. She loves Wicked. We were so close to going and
Oh,
seeing Wicked.
yeah.
In
Yeah, that was here in
Springfield,
town a few years ago.
Yes, I
I
went
saw
to see
Wicked
it.
in New
Yeah.
York and
And-
Broadway.
Wicked.
but-
And
And
do-
Les Mis. I
And
mean,
Oh,
do you guys
Les Mis
know
is
the
so
like
beautiful.
Disney Channel like Jesse?
Mm-mm.
No.
yes,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Whoever played Buttram, he played
That's a funny
Kevin
name.
Chamberlain.
yeah, he played
Buttram.
Wizard of
Buttram.
Oz. So
So,
Wow.
yeah, I got to see him.
I was driving for a particular rideshare, company, that I don't want to mention their name, but where you go and you pick people up. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
But,
that company.
It was when the Lion King, the play, The Lion King, Disney's Lion King was
Yeah.
in town,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I got to they all showed up at the same time, so we got to pick up a bunch of people, and I think was it Nala was the young Nala was the one that I got to pick up and take to the hotel.
Oh,
And she was adorable. She was like so talkative, you could tell she was an actress,
Yeah.
Yeah.
professional actress, and she was like 7,
Mhm.
8.
Dang.
I was like, "What part do you play?" She's like, "Nala." That was a good. I didn't actually see the show, but I can assume it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I'm with you.
Lion
If they
King
make
is
a movie
always
about
good.
it first and then a play, I'm not big on the plays.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Except Lion King is so good. The
Yeah.
The way they did the
musical-
Lion King, yes,
Oh
that's
yeah.
fantastic.
It's so good.
Mhm.
So, what's your favorite Disney movie ever?
Oh,
Disney movie ever.
Jeez.
Lady and the Tramp.
Ah, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm a animal person.
Are ya?
Sucking that
Yeah.
spaghetti.
So I always
Yeah.
I always go for the movies with the animals.
Not Bambi. You didn't
Hotel
like
for
seeing
Dogs?
Bambi's
No.
mom get
I
shot.
don't remember Bambi.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember Bambi. I think it's very
Aw.
sad.
It
It's
is
a
sad.
was
very very
sad.
sad movie.
That's
I
like
cried.
Old Yeller. That's a sad movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Where the
Well-
red fern grows, I bawled during the end of that movie.
And then there's
what I'm talking
Love Bug.
Love Bug?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You never seen that?
That's,
Kirby,
that's a Herbie, yeah.
Herbie the Love Bug.
No, I've never.
it's about a
Oh.
car that is sentient and has a
Oh,
personality, and it's a
I've
it's
heard
a
of it. Yes.
bug, and it's got
Yeah.
53 on the side,
Mhm.
and it's really quirky, and it's like I don't know, goes around like
It was the
causing
70s
mischief.
thing.
It was a racing
Yeah.
car,
Mhm.
so
And then there's Speed
I'd like to
Racer.
have a Baja Bug. Have you ever seen those?
Mm-mm.
They got the
What?
really big jacked up wheels on the back and the skinny wheels up front, and they're
Oh,
meant to
yeah.
go like sand duning and stuff. Like that.
Oh. Yeah.
They're fun.
Be a lot of fun.
I don't have
Yeah.
a favorite Disney movie. I can't
don't?
choose.
There's
Can't
so many of
There's
them,
so
right?
many.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Oh,
I
fuck.
would have to say that Hercules was my favorite.
That's a
I
good
love
movie.
That's a good, you know.
Yeah.
I could sing every song in that whole entire.
Yeah,
you
the
know.
music is
Yeah.
so good.
And then
Yeah.
of
The
course,
soundtrack.
Hero to
Tarzan.
zero, or zero to hero.
Yes.
I know my favorite Disney character is like probably Olaf. Because he's so
Oh,
funny
yeah.
and friendly. And like
Yeah.
that one scene in Frozen 2 where he's like telling
See,
the
I
whole
didn't-
story.
I never saw Frozen 2.
So good.
You
You
know,
need to.
Oh,
I was.
So
it took
good.
me forever to
I
see
gotta see
Frozen,
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
But
I think
because
it's better than the first one.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
well,
he
I didn't see
agrees.
the first one.
Yeah.
I kept
Rachel
hearing
and I
that
have
song
to see
everywhere.
it.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, that song gets old.
Yeah, really.
Or
The-
Let It Go.
the-
They made such
Oh,
fun of that show
yeah.
or that song.
I
Let
don't
It
really
Go.
care for the songs. I just care for like
thought that
Olaf
song was
and
about-
Sven.
It's
Yeah.
funny.
I thought that song was
Yeah.
about flatulence. You know.
He's kind of adorably naive.
But Let It Go was made. It was
Just
a
Let It Go,
really
you
cool
know?
song until
That was
somebody
horrible.
started. They just Let It Go was everywhere, and they started making fun of it. I'm like, oh, come
I
on,
just want to be
man.
like,
Yeah.
just let it go.
Just let it go.
Right.
Like seriously, guys.
Yeah.
But my favorite Disney movie would be Mulan.
That's a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
You know, that
I
was
do like that
that
one.
was from what I understand, that was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Mulan
Yeah.
actually became a general.
Yes.
And
Yes.
whenever she
Yeah.
revealed that she was a woman, they didn't care. They respected her anyways.
I've
Oh.
heard that story.
And Donny Osmond
I've-
did a great job in singing for the head. I
Do you know
forgot-
Donny Osmond?
Yes.
Of course, he knows everybody. He got us to be able to meet Kevin
Kevin
Sorbo.
Sorbo.
We got to sit and visit with Kevin Sorbo.
Oh.
He was the
God's
original
Not Dead.
Hercules
You've seen
on
God's
TV.
Not Dead,
No.
the first one?
I wish.
The old Hercules show from the 90s. Oh, I feel so old right now.
Wow. And they're going, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's in a lot of Christian movies, a lot of
All
Pure
right.
Flix movies.
Yeah.
Mainstream Christian movies.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else he's played in. But yeah, he's pretty famous. He was really famous when I was
In the '90s,
your
he was a
age.
big.
Yeah.
He was on
was
a
doing,
lot
he
of talk
was
shows.
doing a show called Hercules, and
Right.
I never missed an episode. So we got to go meet him, and I was pretty starstruck for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I'm putting my camera stuff together, and Kevin Sorbo's sitting right there, and all I kept saying was, Kevin Sorbo is sitting right there.
Right there.
I mean,
yeah.
he's right there. Look, he's right there.
Or walking across the second floor.
I'm like, that's Kevin Sorbo. And then when he walked by, I'm like, after we got to visit with him for a while, I'm like, hey, you look familiar to me. As he's walking by, he just chuckled. But great guy, great guy. They
Yeah.
say
He
don't
really
meet your
is.
heroes. Well, I'm glad I met him. He was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice.
He's a down to earth guy.
Jay,
Oh, that's
being the
good.
questionnaire, he's the
yeah.
question guy. Actually asked him a question where he stopped and he said, "Ooh, boy, that's a really tough question."
He did.
He said, "That's a good question. That's a tough question." So
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah.
He
Nice to
stumped.
meet him.
You stumped him, is what you did.
I think maybe they were too personal, so he didn't want to reveal too much personal.
Well,
stuff.
but he
And
did.
was
He still
promoting-
answered.
He's promoting a movie, so
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
like
man.
you guys are here to promote the theater and the show
Morning,
that
Linda
you're in,
Fleetwood.
and That's that's
Stephanie
what
Brown
our
is on.
interview with Kevin Sorbo was really about. Was his movie? He
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
released a movie, and
It was a
what
great
we
movie.
Saw of it was
Miracle
amazing.
in
It
East
was really
Texas
great.
is what it was
Yeah.
called.
Yes. Oh, that
Yeah.
was a good
Have
movie.
you seen it?
It's
No.
great. I would recommend you see it.
All
Yeah.
right.
It is. It's
Because
a
he
great
makes
movie.
movies, he calls them actors' movies. It's not.
It's about a con artist.
It's about
who
two
meets
con
the Lord,
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then basically they're going around scamming widows. They try to build an oil rig or whatever, and they don't strike oil, and they take all their money. Well, they start striking oil everywhere they go,
Yeah.
and changing people's lives. Being the answer to their prayer. They tried to mess over a church. Ended up striking oil in that. It's a really good movie.
pulpit.
I'm saying, yeah, right through the pulpit.
Yeah.
And
It's
it was
such a big story too, though. Striking
true
oil
story.
is big, but really that's the story
Back
of my
then,
life
it
too.
was.
Is that God came in
Stephanie Brown
and
is on.
I see that. Stephanie Brown, welcome to the party.
since I first believed, he's always shown me that he was there.
Yeah.
In evident ways, and then
Good song
at times
stuff.
in my life
Uncle
where he
Ray,
really needed
welcome
me
to
to
the party.
change direction or wanted me to change direction, he would repeatedly show himself in ways that it just couldn't be a coincidence anymore. He
Yeah.
was really trying to speak to me, really trying to get me to take a direction that would serve his purpose. And so, that's what this story of Miracle in East Texas is about. but it's of course it's larger than life, and that's how it makes the movies, you know.
Yeah.
So Kevin Sorbo, if you're watching,
Yeah.
thanks for letting us talk to you. It was great.
Yeah. What about you girls? So you're Christian,
Yes.
and and that's one great thing about Branson and being involved in the theater industry is that there's so
Yes.
many Christian performers out there.
Yeah.
The Simpsons said it best back in the '90s. Whenever the kids rented a car and were driving through, and they said the next stop is Branson. They said, "What's Branson?" Well, Branson is like Las Vegas, ran by Ned Flanders, and that is a good example of what that is.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
It's definitely
I need
country, faith, country, and
Yes.
Yeah.
music.
Yes.
See, now I used to go up to Branson when I first moved here from New England. Going up to Branson was a whole different trip.
Yeah.
It had just 2 lanes in each direction.
Oh, I
Before
remember
they
that.
dynamited all the roads. There was one road
from
76.
Springfield to it was horrible, especially at night
Yeah.
in the fog.
Oh, it was horrible, and the mountains were so steep. So those big where the highway goes up through mountains and these big cliffs on either side, you used to have to go over that.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
was yes.
Yeah,
I remember that.
and it wasn't that long ago. So but it was you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to me, to a 51-year-old, it wasn't long ago. To you ladies, it was probably a couple lifetimes ago. But
But no, it wasn't until what 2000 or
is that better, Jim?
98. 98 they were still blasting through the mountains.
so much stone. Now, how much have you gotten to see in Branson yourselves? And do you take from the shows that you see and learn from them and try to?
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much done everything there is to do in Branson. Growing up my whole life, I've been to probably every attraction, every show.
Did you have a favorite one?
I used to go to Six all the time. Six was my favorite show. I was obsessed with
Six?
them. Yes.
Yeah,
Like the
Kevin
number 6?
Knutson, he's my
Yeah,
buddy.
Or
like
did
the
you go
number
to
6.
6 different shows?
No.
No, the show called Six. I also loved Legends in Concert. I don't know if you've been to
Yeah,
Legends.
yes,
Yeah.
I have.
But
a few times.
yes, I
Wasn't there a guy that impersonated Michael Jackson in one of
yes.
those?
Yes, and
Yes.
he's coming
I
up.
actually met him through a guy at work, and that guy, it's uncanny.
It's you think
Yeah.
Michael Jackson just walked into Panera Bread,
Oh, I know.
and
Yeah.
when he come in there, and it did.
I'm like
crazy.
a big fan of Michael Jackson.
Oh,
she
me
can tell.
too.
She can tell you. And
Yeah.
like, when I last saw Legends,
My
there was a
favorite.
Michael Jackson impersonator. Like
My
you
favorite
said.
song he did was called "Heal the World."
Oh, I love that song.
make it a better place.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then there's that classic Billie Jean. Now, actually, one of his songs is still one of the most played, like line dance type songs or Halloween songs. That's Thriller.
Yes.
Yes. I
Um,
love that song.
Yeah.
It's hard not to then.
I
Yeah.
know.
When I was on a cruise ship one time, it was the Royal Caribbean, and we actually there was dance classes that learned the Thriller dance.
Really?
Yeah,
then
then
prisoners
and then
do the same
at
thing.
on the last day, we all dressed up as zombies, and there was a girl who was lost, and I was like, "Are you lost?" She turned, and I scared her, and
Of
I felt so
course.
bad.
You're a
'Cause
zombie.
I totally forgot I was in like full makeup and like
costume.
everything,
Come on.
and she
I like
goes,
how he
"Aw."
does that.
she runs away. I'm like,
I've always been a
Yeah.
fan of Man in the Mirror.
yes.
Oh, that is a good
That's
song.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is
No.
a really good song.
And then there was the original Beat It
Yes.
choreography
Yes.
and Beat It.
I liked
was
Weird
something
Al's take on that. Just eat it. And then, I'm
yeah.
fat. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Fat.
bad.
My favorites come from the Jackson 5. ABC was a
Oh.
huge hit when I was a
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
Ben?
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson and the Jackson
You remember
5
Ben?
were just as
I'll be
big
there.
when I was
Yeah.
a child as he ever was.
Do you remember the
as an
song
adult.
Ben?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever seen that movie? That's a freaky movie.
No, I
Like,
haven't seen the movie.
The movie is about these like rabid zombie mice or whatever. It's or maybe a rat. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a long time, but I used to sing that all the time.
And then there was Black and White. Black or White.
I love that song.
That video is
Yeah.
so
Which one?
awesome.
Yeah.
Black or White. Black and White.
Yeah, that video.
yeah, there's.
I did a tap solo to Smooth Criminal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a
Tap
cello.
dance to Smooth Criminal?
Yeah, there was a cello version that one of my
Really?
tap teachers like found online.
Wow.
And so I just did a tap solo.
You know,
to
when
So
it.
tap is a real instrument. I mean, it's an
Yeah.
instrument.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they were performing here, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
it
well,
was
I got to
amazing.
see that without them having cords and headphones,
Hmm.
and they did a good job. they had headphones and cords when they did the when they did their on the talent show. So they were having to like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Peggy. She's
Yeah.
so great, such good people to work
Oh,
with.
yes, for
Because a lot of
sure.
times, artists and musicians can be a real pain in the derriere. Because we are, and I say we because I'm a musician, we are kind of prima donna. We like things to be a certain way. We like to hear things a certain way.
Yeah.
Jason, bless his heart, he's our sound guy whenever we go out and play. And, if there's any other musicians that we're not used to, it's like, wow, man, they are needy. We are needy people.
Yeah.
they can be.
So isn't it Dan, right? Dan, right? He's so encouraging. He's like, "Oh, you've got this," because she started to get a little tangled, and he's like, "You've got this,"
Jeff?
and she's like, "Oh yeah, Jeff. I mean,
Jeff.
yeah."
Oh,
And she's
yes.
like, "Oh yeah." She's all right. I got this. So
Yeah.
it was neat to see them
probably
working
answer to
together
Dan.
and being.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably would.
They're just so energetic with each other, and they can play off of one another very easy.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Every
for sure.
show is different.
Mhm.
It always depends on the audience.
Oh yeah, here in 2 weeks
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out and watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an
And
audience
I'll be
where
there
you're
in a
like, "I
couple
can't wait
weeks."
to get out of here."
No.
No.
There's
Well,
one
the only-
time.
The
Yeah.
only downside for me was so I drink a lot of water now because my health program I'm on, and so I have to go to the bathroom a lot. But I didn't want to get up in the middle. I waited. That's why
Yeah.
you probably saw me get up and run as soon as it was over. I disappeared for.
Oh, I didn't
a
see
minute.
that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we were like, I was pulling the curtain, so I was just waiting for them to come off and then telling us when to go out. So I didn't really see anything.
It was a great. I look forward
Until
to
the
seeing
end
it
when
again.
y'all just come running out there doing the that
oh
was
yeah.
Oh, yeah, our finale number.
We never did get your favorite. Your favorite Branson show.
My favorite Branson show.
Be
I
careful
haven't-
now. No.
I haven't really been to a lot of Branson shows.
You haven't
That's
gotten to
that's
it?
really funny
Oh,
because
yeah.
I've lived there.
And you're in one.
I've been one.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to check out the competition a little.
I think all my favorite shows come from BRAC. It's like the Owens Theater. It's like a little community of what do you call them?
Community theater.
Yeah, it's a community theater.
It's
And
like
so,
community theater.
Yeah.
Are you involved in that in some way, or?
I was going to do the Peter Pan summer one, but
yeah.
it was canceled because
Morning,
of
Robert
COVID.
Oh,
Jones.
right. And
Yeah.
so, was that a next step? Are you Are you planning to get involved with that when it starts back
Yes.
Morning,
Yeah. So
Scott.
they haven't,
oh brother
like,
of mine.
up? They haven't disbanded. They're just on a break because.
Yeah,
of
they're
Yeah.
just holding it till next summer.
Jim
Yeah.
Barber's
It's gonna
a
be
good
the same
guy.
show, Peter
Yes.
Pan.
Oh yes.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
were both
and you're gonna do
gonna-
it too.
Yeah, we were both gonna audition for like the summer shows and stuff because the summer's like pretty much the only time we have off because of dance and the show and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But
Which
then
is a good time to
the
perform
COVID.
in Branson.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, see, I
At
always
such a young age, though, that must have been such a massive disappointment. I imagine, to have it canceled. But
Yeah.
I
yeah.
almost worked
well, I'm
for.
sorry, I say young age, but I don't mean that you're.
I almost got a
it's
job at
insulting
Silver to
you.
Dollar City singing,
I love
but
Silver
it was
Dollar
it was
City.
too far of a drive for me at the
Yeah.
time. But yeah, that's always been a dream of mine. So it's good that you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
You've
You
been
guys
to
are
I
doing
used
Silver
to
Dollar
clog
City?
out there.
huh?
I used to clog out at Silver Dollar City.
Oh yeah. Did you use the wooden shoes,
No.
or do
we
you use the
just-
tap shoes, right, for clogging? Or
Yeah, for
just-
clogging. So they're like tap shoes where they have like the single metal on the toe and the heel, but then there's a double metal that's like looser. So
Like
then
the
it like makes
spoons.
that jingle
Oh.
sound.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what it is.
So it's
I
kinda like
wondered
tapping
I
and
always wondered
spurs.
about that.
Yeah.
How that happened.
Yeah. When
So it's like tap shoes, but then with an extra metal that's not as tight. So then it gets that
Like yeah, so
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sounds
Good
almost
morning,
like
Darren.
it
like
sounds it sounds weird.
a tambourine foot,
yeah, kind of.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Or like the sound of like the horse's tack whenever you're hanging it up and it jingles a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can just hold the shoe and just like
Yeah. Jingle it. Mhm.
So I'm curious about this too. Now I ask everybody something about it. Is what about all of the current events lately and what's going on in the world? Do you know much about it, and what are your feelings about it?
I don't know that much about it. I just know that it's like affected my family a lot.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of been normal
Good
for us.
question.
I know. Good question.
Wow.
We've only
Every-
got like 2 minutes, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
That was
You
a
don't
great
have
question to end
I
That
mean,
was
you
a
don't have
great
to have an
question.
in-depth answer. It's really a genuine thing, and I'm trying
Yeah.
to learn more about. And I know it seems insulting about young people and what their take is on it, because as a person of my age, it's a main focus.
yeah.
But I'm finding more and more that younger people really are just staying out of it and staying away from it and trying to do the best that they can to, follow the rules and not not get in trouble
Not
or
make waves.
anything
Yeah.
like that. And
Yeah.
It was actually
But you see a
really
different thing
easy
on
for
media.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really easy because we used the app Zoom.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
to take our dance classes, we just took classes online,
Mhm.
and they were live classes, and so we just used the app Zoom, and we took our
Yeah.
classes, and
Thank
then
you, Peggy Lee.
we
She
went
does
back
a
in the
great job, all of you.
studio, like probably a month ago. But we did have to social distance in the studio.
Yeah,
so
there was like
everything's
X's on the
just-
floor that were like 6 feet
Yeah.
apart and everything.
It's like level 2,
Uh,
though. I bet it's kind of fun working out the
Yeah.
issues with
Yeah.
Zoom in a
Mhm.
classroom
It
with
was
dance.
it was
and
really
performance.
nice to come back to the studio because
Mhm.
like online was kind of
Come
getting
on, it's like coming back home.
Yeah, it's
It's
Yeah.
hard.
like
It's
I
just
don't have a
hard
real
to-
bar, I don't have a real floor. It's like concrete and like your
Yeah.
Achilles and like your shins start
Oh,
to hurt
yeah.
and it
Mhm.
hurts real bad.
We call those shin
And then you
splints,
support
right?
for each other.
Yeah.
Whenever the
sorry.
muscles around your shin bones
Yeah.
start to hurt.
Hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
when I started walking recently, that happened the first few times. I'm like, I didn't even know that that was actual muscle. You
When
know?
Yeah.
when you're so used to one floor and then you go to a concrete, just like when I was in the Navy, it's like, oh, it can't be that hard to march. But then when you start walking on a regular floor, compared to, they say you got to be careful on the
Yeah.
on the concrete because it'll hurt.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
standing on concrete holding a guitar for an hour is not very much fun.
And are you guys support for each other when you reach troubles like, let's say, my legs or my feet hurt, or I don't know what comes up for you guys performing and all the different aspects of what you're doing and how you're developing as young performers. But
Mhm.
do you
I would
do
say
you support
athletes
each
as
other?
well.
Are you that close?
Yeah, we definitely keep each other going, especially with our duet. It's
Like if
just-
someone's hurting, like we understand that they're hurt, but like sometimes we're like, you just gotta push through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
You
show
just
must
gotta
go
go.
on.
Yeah, in dance, you really just have to push through it unless it's something very
serious injury.
serious,
Yeah.
and you got to take care of yourself. It's a
Yeah.
lot of chiropractor visits.
You ever had a serious?
No.
No?
I haven't had any serious injuries.
Kind of. I had tendonitis in my knees.
Wow, so
Mm.
you
So-
are
Yeah.
really working hard at this
Yeah.
dancing thing. And it's
Mhm.
hard.
But we
Yeah.
do have some girls at the studio who do have serious injuries,
Oh,
and we
yeah.
just have to like understand and
Hmm.
Listen to them because they have
listen
something to
them.
tell
yeah,
you to
and
teach you.
Yeah.
we just try to do what they can. Just tell them do what you can.
Hey, Asa. Hey, how are you?
So,
Great. So that sound, that music means it's time for us to get out of here.
all right.
Alright.
So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the Morning Drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for the new gold standard with Tony Hammock, followed by their premiere show, Peggy Lee Brennan and Jeff with the G, as well as these two lovely ladies here sitting right in front of us today for Open Ended with Peggy Lee and Jeff. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
My name is Emily.
My name is Emma.
and this has been
The Morning Drive.